What's up guys? Welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
Let us continue our work as friends.
Yeah, I'm going to have a lot of fun.
Guy responded. Thus, Guy and Veldanava recognized each other as equals, forming a friendship that transcended their social positions. As promised, Guy lived his life as a demon lord. To alleviate his boredom, he observed the burgeoning settlements across the land. Gradually, these settlements evolved into villages, which then joined together to form nations. Although far from the grand civilizations of the past, magic and technology resurfaced, fostering steady growth. Watching mankind go about its affairs brought Guy enjoyment. With time, multiple nations emerged, and small-scale conflicts once again broke out. Should I intervene? Guy pondered. However, he was always inclined to take action rather than dwell on contemplation. Thus, he destroyed one particular nation that drew his attention, partly as a warning. Humanity feared Guy as a demon lord, a visible threat. In response, they nurtured a desire for unity to confront this menace.
Perfect. As long as they don't provoke me, I won't destroy anyone.
As an arbitrator, Guy relished his work. Over time, Misery and Rain commanded their respective followers and governed a vast domain. They vanquished local gods, monsters, and magic-born creatures, enhancing their reputation. Misery even employed her followers as spies, infiltrating human society. She meticulously analyzed the intelligence they gathered to identify individuals in need of purification. Her mission was to instill just the right amount of terror in humans, keeping them on their toes. Once the Demon Lord system was firmly established, Guy found himself with little to do. He roamed the world, indulging in battles whenever he felt the urge to fight. On one occasion, he decimated an army of giants that even posed a threat to the seven primordials, Veldanava's servants. Additionally, Veldanava tasked Guy with battling Ivalage, the world destroyer dragon, which proved to be an immensely enjoyable experience. The dragon possessed an innate penchant for combat, something that greatly pleased Guy. However, there were challenges as well. This particular opponent proved to be a formidable match for Guy. Their confrontation lasted 3 grueling months before the dragon eventually fled to another world. The aftermath left significant damage to the land, transforming it into a desolate wasteland as far as the eye could see. It served as a difficult yet valuable lesson for Guy. From that point forward, he would need to carefully choose his battlefields when he engaged in serious combat. From above, Guy gazed down upon the land and spotted a familiar-looking castle. It was the imperial palace of the Supreme Magic Empire, the place from which he had been summoned into this world. Sensing a twist of fate, Guy claimed it as his own domain. Rain swiftly set her servants to work, restoring the castle to its habitable state with their magic. During that time, a white dragon caught Guy's attention. She possessed a captivating beauty, with eyes resembling blue diamonds. However, from the moment she spoke, it was evident that she had a bone to pick with Guy. In a storm of anger, she declared,
While my brother may acknowledge you, I certainly won't.
Drawing from his past experiences, Guy desired to select a battlefield that suited his opponent's abilities. However, the dragon unleashed sheets of ice and snow upon his castle from above. Concern for the damage caused became a secondary concern, as anyone who had survived had long since evacuated, and the castle could be rebuilt. Rain and her followers would face hardship, but Guy paid little heed to that. Moreover, after allowing the world destroyer dragon to escape, Guy yearned for a new challenge, and the sight of this new challenger invigorated him. Might as well embrace this, he thought, unleashing his full power against her. Despite their relentless clash, neither side could claim victory. This was Velzard, the ice dragon, Veldanava's younger sister and the eldest among the female true dragons. She couldn't deny that only Veldanava surpassed her in magicule count, and even Guy couldn't completely overpower her. However, from Velzard's perspective, it was Guy who stood out as the anomaly. After all, Guy possessed nothing more than a single unique skill, while Velzard possessed Patience King Gabriel, an angel-type ultimate skill bestowed upon her by Veldanava. The notion of battling Guy to a draw was inconceivable to her.
Why do you stand on equal footing with me when you only possess a unique level skill?
Because I am strong, that's why.
Don't be absurd. My brother granted me this power, not you. It proves that he views me as far more useful than you. So why?
Well, you see, he offered to grant me some power too, but I declined. If we were in a master-servant relationship, I might have accepted. However, he wants us to be equals. So instead,
driven by jealousy and a desire for her brother's approval, Velzard had attacked Guy. Now, before her eyes, Guy's power began to transform. Witnessing Veldanava's might served as his inspiration, and through his battle with Velzard, Guy gained a true understanding of what an ultimate skill entailed.
I decided to attain the ultimate level through my own power.
In the blink of an eye, his unique skill, Pride, evolved into the ultimate skill, Pride King Lucifer. Velzard was left speechless.
Oh, no wonder my brother took a liking to you. Well then, let me witness how far you can push yourself, until the bitter end.
It appeared that Velzard's true intention was to test Guy. Whether he passed the test or not remains unknown, but from that point on, they walked hand in hand. That was the encounter between Guy and Velzard. The battle between them, lasting 3 days and 3 nights, reshaped the very foundation of the world. However, this time, it was a deliberate adjustment orchestrated by Guy. The icy, uninhabitable tundra transformed into a land of eternal spring, while the land Guy designated as his own became a frozen wasteland instead.
Well, this should do.
How magnificent, Lord Guy.
Exclaimed Rain.
You've done it again.
I don't think it will pose a problem.
Commented Misery.
There was some damage to humanity, but all the nations in the world are joining forces to address this crisis, minimizing casualties.
To the inhabitants of that world, it was a catastrophe. To Guy, it served as nothing more than an amusing anecdote. As long as Guy was content, so were Rain and Misery. The aftermath of his recent battle had enveloped his citadel in ice, which oddly enhanced its beauty.
Well, why don't we leave it like this? We can preserve it as a memorial.
Allow me to assist with that. I can contribute to this endeavor.
Velzard's assistance involved plunging the surroundings of the castle into freezing temperatures. Since then, the citadel remained forever off limits to the feeble. Living in the castle would prove inconvenient for Velzard in her dragon form. When Guy pointed this out, she swiftly assumed a human shape instead. In her adult form, she could exert complete control over her aura, but she opted to maintain a slightly younger appearance. The subtle leakage of her aura resulted in a chilly atmosphere that bolstered the castle's defenses. In this frozen land, inhospitable to both humans and monsters, no one would dare to invade Guy's domain. But there was a conversation to be had.
How does it appear to you?
Well, it's alright, but it's not really my taste, you know?
Sometimes you can be so mean, you know that.
Velzard complained to Guy, yet deep inside, she harbored a fondness for him. In the depths of her heart, she secretly vowed to one day win his affections. Several hundred years elapsed, and not much changed from day to day. The current day was no exception. Guy, bored to the core, found himself receiving unexpected guests, a party of 3. They had effortlessly traversed through the treacherous land and boldly entered the castle. Guy observed them intently, his interest piqued. Then the young man with blonde hair and blue eyes, leading the group, let out a scream.
I am Rudra, Rudra Nazca, crown prince of the kingdom of Nazca and the hero carrying the hopes of humanity. Wicked demon lord, prepare to taste my blade and the destruction it will bring upon you. And hand over all the treasures you're supposedly hoarding too.
It might not have been the most noble declaration, but Rudra's pure and invigorating ambition captivated Guy.
Rudra, my brother, you sound just like the demon lord himself.
Yeah, you're utterly useless. It's all about greed with you, isn't it? If you want money, I can make as much as you desire.
Oh, come on, Val grinned. Please stop pampering my brother like that. If we continue like this, we're bound to be defeated. And then what will become of us?
Guy observed their conversation. They were undeniably audacious, or perhaps simply foolish. However, one thing was certain. If they now stood before Guy, it meant they had overcome Misery and Rain. This peculiar trio must have possessed far greater power than their appearances suggested. And now, Guy could discern that one of the 3 shared the same kind of existence as his own friends and allies. He could no longer fault Misery and Rain for their defeat. It was the natural order of things, the workings of the laws of nature. But in the present moment, a hero, you say? What does that entail? It was the first time Guy had encountered that term, and it held a captivating allure, something that could prevent his days from being so monotonous henceforth. Filled with excitement, he confronted the man known as Rudra.
Ha, I like it. Let's see what this power of yours as a hero is all about.
Guy accepted Rudra's challenge.
Heck, I don't need any assistance. I am the strongest there is. Let's engage in a one-on-one duel, Demon Lord. Fair and square.
Rudra, despite being a handsome young man, had a slightly vulgar smile. It seemed like his intentions leaned more towards plundering Guy's treasures rather than defeating him. Yet, Guy found it endearing, as it showcased a distinctly human quality. People took action when driven by desire. They studied and worked hard because they sought a better life. Rudra was undeniably human, a human with the sweet emotions that Guy cherished.
Ha! Try to resist me!
And thus, the battle commenced. Guy observed Rudra as he charged towards him. It was a swift and precise attack, but it lacked conviction. Once Guy realized this, he became frustrated that Rudra was holding back, not giving his all. Rudra was safeguarded by a finely crafted suit of magical armor that covered his entire body. It appeared to hold considerable value, so Guy decided to dismantle it first. Apparently, this upstart was fixated on wealth. He would be distraught if his possessions were shattered. In other words, Guy was toying with him. Effortlessly evading Rudra's sword strikes, Guy feigned a punishing knee strike but swiftly transitioned into a sidekick. Rudra narrowly attempted to dodge, leaving him unable to adapt to the sudden change. The kick connected, shattering his armor.
This armor costs more than our nation's annual budget.
Are you alright, my brother?
You're such an idiot, Rudra. If we had fought together from the beginning, your armor wouldn't be in pieces right now.
Shut up! This is a necessary expense, alright?
Rudra was on the verge of tears. The kick seemed to have a greater impact than Guy anticipated, and he couldn't help but grin.
Now, I'll bend his sword and make him regret his decisions for good.
He observed the trio once again. But at that moment,
At least let me cast some supportive magic, my brother. Holy Blade.
the girl with platinum pink hair, the one Guy initially considered the least threatening, unleashed an unimaginable magical spell. Rudra's sword radiated a brilliant glow. It emitted a light that dispelled evil, a dazzling and divine aura that struck at the darkness.
This is problematic. That light possesses the power to penetrate my barrier, I believe.
He should have intervened and stopped the spell before it was cast, but Guy was enjoying the battle too much. It would be impolite of him to spoil the fun.
I'll permit it. It's just my little sister cheering me on, after all. But no more assistance, Lucia.
Rudra was the type of person who valued results over personal pride. Having his sister aid him didn't dent his ego in the least. I'm quite fond of this guy's personality. While Guy wasn't truly in danger, the situation was growing more challenging for him. Yet, for some reason, he was relishing it.
That's hardly a handicap for me. In fact, all three of you can take me on at once.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. A big thanks to the AnimeKouhai patrons who made this video possible. Judah Herrera, Just a Guy, Miss L.W. Hernandez, Linnell Scarlett, Khalid, Christian Deshazer, Cal Robs, Divine C. Harris, Panda Cats, Aaron Alarcon, DeAndre Nance, Montyboy98, Karam Faraj. Thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.